Greetings and salutations. It is I, Professor Macabro, here again to regale you with another video. Yes, indeed. As you can see, we are still in the undisclosed location because we are going still through some spring showers. And as I've mentioned before, the spooky shed does not have any interior lighting. I have to run a power cord through it, and water and electricity do not mix, my friends. No. So it would break my heart and what little sanity I have left to see my beautiful collection of movies and other stuff be set ablaze and just go poof, have a Viking funeral pyre and just see everything go poof, be gone. So to avoid that, I am here with you in the undisclosed location. Yes, indeed. And in this occasion, I wanted to share with you my thoughts and some things that are very near and dear to me. As you know, I live and breathe Halloween. Orange and black course through my veins, which is probably something I would have checked out with the doctor because I don't think that's the appropriate color for blood. But I love Halloween, as you know from my channel, with talking about horror movies, talking about Halloween decorations, talking about all these spooky stuff that I enjoy from the season. But there's also another aspect of Halloween that I don't talk in this channel, mostly because it's something that, while I do appreciate and love, I can't freaking afford it, nor do I have the proper place to display it. And that's Halloween Animatronics. Ha ha ha. If you're a follower of my channel or my social media, you know that I have dabbled in producing my own Halloween decorations and my own static props. Last year, La Llorona and Jason were the big hits, as well as Scary Jack were the big hits in my Halloween hunt. And this year, I am going to dabble into seeing if I can make an Santa Art the Clown static prop, complete with the chainsaw. Stay tuned for that, because DUI Macabro will do that, and we'll see how that turns out. Yes, indeed. But there are a lot of high-end animatronics and a lot of low-budget animatronics from different people. Depends on how much you have to blow for your Halloween and what your budget is. You can go something from as high-end and as expensive as Distortions Unlimited, or something as cheapo and, more budget than Big Lots. So you have your Distortions Unlimited, you have your Spirit Halloween, you have your Home Depot, you have your Lowe's, you have your Party City, and you have, again, your Big Lots. Unfortunately, this year, both Big Lots and Party City have gone kaput. They are no more. They have already liquidated their inventory, and I don't know if it's a bankruptcy that they can restructure and come back, or if it's a complete kaput, and they are no more. Yes, indeed, they are no longer with us, you see. And that's very disappointing, because Party City, where I wasn't a place that I frequent and purchased a lot from them, again, can't afford a lot of neat stuff, I did like watching their videos. Last year's lineup of animatronics was really cool. I particularly like what they produced. So I was very surprised to hear that they went kaput, because I thought that last year's Halloween was gangbusters for them. But it is what it is. So every year I see the videos of the animatronics, or I go to the stores and I see them in motion, and I am just awestruck. I'm like, you're so pretty, and I wish I could take you home, but I can't afford you. Bye-bye. And then I see them pop up in people's haunts when we go trick-or-treating with the gremlins. They have all these really cool animatronics that move like this. The more elaborate ones have their mouth moves. And then they do a jump scare. Boogity, 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 boogity. I love that shit. Yes, indeed. And every year I see a lot of things, but for 2025, while we don't have a complete list because Spirit Halloween hasn't released their list of animatronics, and usually Party City would release theirs at the same time as Spirit, but again, they are kaput. No more Party City. But there are a lot of animatronics that if I could, I would buy. And I'm going to take you into this what-if machine. Yes, indeed. If Professor Macabro had a lot of moolah, money, the green stuff, what animatronics or static props would he buy for 2025? So that's the topic of this video. And right off the bat, I wanted to talk about the most expensive high-end of these animatronics, and that's Distortions Unlimited. Yes, indeed. It's not the only one that produces animatronics. There's also one called Haunted Hill Farms. Jemmy, that dancing Homer is a Jemmy, and a lot of little tabletop things I have are Jemmies. They're both well known. They are the ones that build it, and then they're distributed by Home Depot. But Distortions Unlimited build, make, and sell their own props. Yes, indeed. And they're always amazing. The level of detail, what they're able to do. They have lights, they have sounds, they have servos, they have pistons, they have, they spray water, they do a whole bunch of shit that is just amazing. Go to their YouTube channel and just check out half the stuff that they have, and you'll be amazed by the stuff that they've produced. But last year, they released a animatronic called the Banshee. And it's really cool. There's really cool chick design with the hair, and she levitates, and then she opens her mouth and spits out something, but the mouth is what really sells it, and the design of the face. But that was last year's animatronic, and that will set you back like $8,000. But if you don't have the space to have the animatronic or the budget, this year, I think for $600 or $800, you can get the Banshee Legend, which I'm going to post a picture here if the editing remembers to do so. And I just love this. This is a flat back, which is basically not the complete mold. It's just the front part of the mold is done, and then the back's all flat. It's designed so you can put it on your wall in your haunt, so you won't really notice that it's flat, and it's camouflaged very well. But I just love the design of the Banshee Legend. A lot of, unless it's a witch or a vampire chick, you don't really have any female monsters. Usually it's just a sausage fest throughout the decoration. You have your Frankenstein, you have your Draculas. So I appreciate seeing a female animatronic, or in this case a static prop, the Banshee Legend. I just love her look, her face. She looks very, very mysterious, very alluring. And then she opens her mouth, and you see this big old mouth of teeth, and you can pose her hands. Freaking amazing. And if I could afford the Banshee Legend, you bet your ass I would get it. The other one that I saw this year announced is the Demon Legend. Just look at the design, the horns, the face, the color of the skin, the cape, the chains. Freaking amazing. I love the Distortions Unlimited Demon Legend. Just love the way he looks. I would set this up and maybe in the corner, light him up with red, and then the possibilities would be endless, and I would be the hit of the town and the talk of the folk with what I could do with these kind of animatronics. And the other one, the third one that I want to talk about is the Xenobore. Now this is inspired, of course, by your typical alien bugs and everything, but I like the design of the face. I like the design of the hands, the feet. This is a full-blown animatronic. It's not a static prop. This one flails around. It spits out water and everything. Freaking amazing to look at in motion. But this, again, will set you back quite a bit of dollars. And I don't know if this would work as a legend, because the detail in the full prop is so amazing that having it be a flat back might, diminish what it would do. So I don't think they would release this as a legend. But again, if I could afford it and have a proper place to display it on, I would buy the Xenobore. Even if it doesn't move, just have that beautiful design displayed somewhere would be really cool. But that's from Distortions Unlimited. Spirit Halloween hasn't released their lineup yet. And Party City would release it at the same time, but again, no more Party City, so I don't know what Spirit Halloween will release this year. But one company that did show off their lineup for this year is Home Depot. And Home Depot has actually been knocking it out of the park with their animatronics and props. They're not too expensive, and they look really cool. Last year, Captain Cuts was the one that piqued my interest. It's a pirate, but it's something like from Disney because the eyes blink, the mouth moves, the whole body swivels. Freaking amazing. They also had a Frankenstein that looked really cool. But for 2025, they released or announced or teased the Bride und Frankenstein. And I love the Bride. Again, any female character is much needed in the Halloween decor. Again, it's complete sausage fest. So to have the Bride und Frankenstein is freaking amazing. I love the design of the Bride. And she doesn't get enough love, it seems. And to have an animatronic of her, and her eyes blink, and she probably talks or moves. Well, the Bride doesn't talk, she hisses. She goes like, Kss. But to have this, I am in love with the design of the Bride und Frankenstein. And to be able to have a prop of her would be really cool. I would definitely, if I could afford it, I would definitely buy the animatronic of the Bride und Frankenstein. Yes, indeed. The other prop that they announced doesn't look like it does anything. I don't think it does any sounds. Only the eyes seem to light up. But it's this giant animatronic. Well, it's not an animatronic. It's a giant static prop of a giant great white shark. And I looked at this thing and I was like, Jaws! That's fucking Jaws, and I fucking love Jaws. I want to get that. I think last year it was Lowe's that released a Kraken. And I would buy that to put it in my bar. Again, fictional world where I can afford everything and I would have my own bar. Because, as you know, I like partaking in the Kraken rum. So, having a static prop of a Kraken in my bar where I drink Kraken rum just makes sense, you know. But this thing would be really cool. I don't think I could build something around it like a haunt based on a shark. But just to have that there would be really cool. Just a giant shark prop that looks really badass with all the teeth and everything. I hope it does. Well, what kind of sounds would it actually do? It's a shark. Sharks don't make sounds, despite what you would see in Jaws. Sharks don't roar when they're being impaled by a ship or sinking down in the ocean as they're been blown up. But just really like the design of this, and again, it's something that you don't see very often, so I would buy it, and I would enjoy it, and I would be very happy to have this shark prop. Yes, indeed. And the other thing that Home Depot showed off is the Chucky and the Tiffany animatronics. Last year, they released a Chucky one, and it's your Chucky that looks like the TV show, or the first Chucky, or the second Chucky. But I must admit, this might get me some heat. I do prefer the look of the scarred Chucky, introduced in Bride of Chucky, which is the one that Tiffany built after getting all the parts together and stitching him up. I like the design of that scarred Chucky, and that's what we're getting this year, along with the aforementioned Tiffany. You can't have Chucky without Tiffany nowadays, and I like Tiffany. Not only is she because she's portrayed by Jennifer Tilly, and I like Jennifer Tilly, but the Tiffany doll looks badass. She looks pretty cool. So it makes sense to have Chucky and Tiffany together in animatronic form. Now, you could buy Tiffany and Chucky dolls from Spirit Halloween, but they don't move. I think they might talk. But these full-on move with the voices of Chucky and Tiffany, and they look really cool. And again, last year Chucky was $300. I'm thinking this because of inflation and tariffs or what have you, these might be $400. And last year Chucky sold like that. So I'm guessing these would be really hot sellers because it's freaking Tiffany and scarred Chucky. So yes, if I could afford them or get my hands on them, I would buy both and have them just talk around and, discuss and argue among each other. And I'd be like, ha 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 ha, I bought you. And now you're talking among yourself. Yes, I am very happy with my life. Ha ha ha. But those are the animatronics and props that I have seen so far that have piqued my interest and, again, make me wish that I was a man of money. Well, not a literal man of money, because then I would fall away and be flown away by the wind. No. That my bank account would be full of money, I think would be the most specific things to say, so that I could buy these things and display them. Just look at them and be like, yep, I own those things. I am very pleased with myself. Have you seen these animatronics? And if so, or after I talked about them, if you can afford them, or if you can afford them, which one would you buy? Have you seen any other animatronics that you think are superior? And those are the ones you want to get. Let us know in the comments down below. But until we see you all again next time, this has been Professor Macabro, still in the undisclosed location, thanking you for your comments, your views, and all the new subscribers that have found my little corner of the internet. And I wish you all, like always, a good evening.